Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into the latest curated sources from the Pythonist programmer, covering roughly late October to early November 2025.
Yeah, and our focus is really that intersection point where you see tech, psychology, business, and even global politics all kind of smashing together.
Exactly. And looking across this batch of sources, there's this real tension, isn't there? AI is pushing creativity forward like crazy, but also maybe destruction.
Right, and at the same time, the tech infrastructure we lean on feels kind of brittle, and then you've got these big shifts in social stuff, like how people show up online, especially around partnerships.
Okay, so that's the plan. We'll get into that dual reality of AI, the creative boost versus, well, the political weapon side.
And cloud fragility, that's a big one.
And finally, yeah, the human side, how creators are navigating visibility relationships. It's fascinating.
Let's do it.
All right, segment one, AI's dual reality. Let's start with the positive, the professional acceleration. Adobe, Canva. Big announcements, right?
Huge. It really feels like the race for the professional creative workflow is properly heating up now.
And Adobe's not just talking simple image generation anymore. They're using this term, agentic AI.
Exactly. Agentic AI.
Mm-hmm.
And the key thing for you listening is that this isn't just about making a picture. It's about AI that can manage complex steps, kind of work independently to achieve a goal you set.
Okay, so like a real assistant.
Sort of, yeah. And that's what's powering Adobe's new AI assistant in Photoshop. It's meant to handle the repetitive stuff, give you smart suggestions, but crucially, without taking control away from the actual creative pro.
Keeps the human in the loop.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've also added some really smart compositing tools like Harmonize in Photoshop. It automatically blends light, color, tone across different parts of an image. Makes complex edits way faster.
And they're integrating other models too, like Google's.
Yeah, Google Gemini, Black Forest Labs. They're basically saying, we'll give you the best tool for the job, even if we didn't build it ourselves. It's smart aggregation.
Interesting strategy. Okay, but then there's Canva. They're coming at it from a different angle, aren't they? More about democratizing design.
Totally. They've launched this creative operating system.
Yeah.
And the core of it is their own Canva design model.
What's special about that?
Well, they claim it's the first AI trained specifically on design principles, structure, layers, hierarchy, all that stuff. So it doesn't just spit out a flat image. It creates fully editable content.
Like a presentation slide you can actually change.
Yeah, exactly. Or a brochure, a social post.
Yeah.
Ready to use, especially for people who aren't, professional designers.
Mm-hmm.
It's about streamlining the whole process.
Which explains why they made Affinity free.
Right. Their whole Pro Suite, photo editing, vector design, totally free now.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, tools like Canva Grow for AI-powered batch editing and ad variations. It's a massive play for the whole creative lifecycle, especially for small businesses and marketers.
Okay, so that's the bright side. Incredible tools getting easier to use faster. But that same ease of use has a darker side.
This is where we get into the AI slop in politics, as one source put it.
Yeah, that term. It captures something, doesn't it? The source pointed to Donald Trump, calling him the first AI slop president.
And the example they used was that infamous King Trump video, the fighter jet one.
Oh, right. The one where the jet dumps, well, let's just say digital waste on cartoon protesters.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's completely absurd, but also apparently very viral. And the key point the source made is how it gets made and shared. It's often staffers just grabbing or making these clips quickly.
The goal isn't necessarily deep deception, then.
Not in the way we feared, perhaps. It's not the super sophisticated deepfake designed to start a war or crash markets. Not yet, anyway. It's more about trolling, mockery, using the tech fast and loose because it's easy.
Blurring reality for laughs, or maybe just to stir things up.
The source called it the far dumber part of the timeline. An apparent lack of deep strategy, just using boundary blurring tech because you can.
But I wonder, even if it feels dumb or chaotic, doesn't that chaos serve a purpose? If you flood the zone with nonsense, doesn't it make it harder for people to trust anything? Maybe the slop is the strategy, in a way.
That's a really good question. The source leaned towards chaos over deliberate conspiracy, but the effect eroding trust, making it hard to know what's real that's undeniably strategic in outcome, even if not in detailed planning.
And it comes back to that ease of use. The same tech that lets a pro designer work magic lets an operative create disruptive absurdity in minutes.
Exactly. Democratization cuts both ways, sharply.
Okay, let's shift gears. All this digital stuff, the good and the bad, it runs on something physical, the cloud, and that foundation seems shaky.
Yeah, that Microsoft Azure outage was pretty stark, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Especially happening just hours before their big earnings call.
Talk about bad timing. And it hit everything.
Oh, yeah.
Azure Front Door, Microsoft 365, Xbox, even their own investor page went down.
And the cause? Officially an inadvertent configuration change.
It sounds almost minor for such a massive impact.
It really highlights the brittleness, as the source put it. And remember, this was the second major cloud outage in less than 2 weeks. AWS had one just before this.
So it's not a one-off.
No. And the sources really emphasize our dependency on just a few huge companies, the hyperscalers, like Microsoft and Amazon. They provide most of the world's cloud infrastructure.
So when they centralize things for efficiency, they also centralize the points of failure.
Precisely. One mistake, one bad config change, and suddenly huge swaths of the internet, businesses, services, they all wobble. Your exposure multiplies because everyone relies on the same few providers.
What are the deeper ripples of this beyond just the immediate outage?
Well, there's the economic cost, obviously, but also the psychological toll on the people running these systems. Knowing a single typo could cause global disruption. That's immense pressure.
Yeah, it changes the job from building cool stuff to constantly fighting fires, or worse, preventing the foundation from crumbling underneath you.
Right. And think about AI again. Those powerful models, the agentic AI we just talked about, they mostly run on these same centralized cloud services.
So the cool AI future is only as stable as the Azure or AWS instance it's running on.
Pretty much. If these kinds of errors keep happening, we're building critical AI dependencies on inherently fragile ground. That has implications for everything from creative tools to, national security or supply chains potentially.
Okay, so brittle foundations. Let's move up a layer to the humans building businesses and living their lives on top of this digital world. Creators, specifically. OnlyFans came up.
Yeah, it's interesting. OnlyFans is making a very deliberate push into business education.
Yeah.
They're trying to frame themselves not just as, that platform, but as a community of over 4 million creator businesses.
And they launched classes.
Exactly. Classes to help creators monetize ideas, build brands, maybe move beyond just the content itself.
And they brought in Rachel McCrary. She's got an interesting background.
Yeah, former adult creator turned successful lingerie entrepreneur, and her involvement really highlights the platform's strategy. She talks openly about the stigma, the barriers creators face trying to move into more mainstream business.
So OnlyFans is trying to help creators overcome that stigma.
Or at least trying to normalize the business side of things, helping creators build broader ventures, clothing lines, coaching, whatever, that are safe for work alongside the adult content. It's a diversification play for the platform, makes them seem more robust, less reliant on one type of content.
Makes sense. Okay, shifting from creator businesses to creator lives, there was a fascinating piece about how straight women are showing relationships online, or rather not showing them. We're leaving boyfriend land.
Yeah. Boyfriend land. That term really landed.
Yeah.
The sources suggest a real shift away from the old model, where having a partner and showing him off was like the ultimate validation.
So what's the new aesthetic?
It's subtle, very subtle. Like you might see his hand on the steering wheel in a photo dump, or maybe his face is blurred in a group shot, or he's just cropped out of the vacation video. He's there, but obscured.
Yeah.
Hidden in plain sight almost.
Why? What's driving that? Is it just about being cool?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
There's definitely an image component. Wanting the social status of being partnered, maybe, but avoiding the perceived norminess or cringe of being seen as, boyfriend obsessed.
Avoiding being culturally loser-ish, as the source put it.
Right. Because being single is increasingly being framed as, desirable, even romanticized, but it's not just about clout.
What else? Pragmatism.
Yeah, big time. There's the superstition angle, the evil eye, fear. Don't flaunt your happiness too much or you'll jinx it.
Interesting.
And the more practical side, nobody wants to be stuck with hundreds of posts featuring an ex if things go south. Digital cleanup is awkward.
True.
But the biggest driver seems to be this growing cultural vibe, what the sources termed heterofatalism.
Heterofatalism.
Yeah, this kind of sense that relationships with men are often draining, or that having a boyfriend typically takes hits on a woman's aura. The partnership itself is seen less as an achievement and more as potentially diminishing.
Wow. So being partnered isn't the automatic win it used to be. It challenges that whole fairy tale narrative.
Completely. It suggests that for many women, being single is becoming the more aspirational status online, which is a fundamental shift.
Okay, wow. So we've got AI's double-edged, brittle infrastructure, shifting social contracts. This brings us to the final source, which felt pretty direct. It's aimed at the people who see all this complexity.
Yeah, the high-capacity minds, as the source calls them. If you're the person listening who connects these dots, who sees the nuance, the contradictions, the patterns others miss, this one's for you.
And the core message is kind of tough, isn't it?
It is, basically. Most people do not actually want your perspective. Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Why not, if the perspective is valuable?
Because, as the source argues, the systems we operate in work, social media, even sometimes friendships, they tend to reward speed, simplicity, consensus. Surface-level clarity feels efficient.
And depth is inconvenient.
Inconvenient, yeah. Or invisible. Nuance slows things down, pointing out the potential Azure outage before it happens, or explaining the complex reasons behind the boyfriend land shift. It can feel disruptive to the smooth, fast flow of agreement.
The source described a cycle, right, of being unheard.
Yeah, a really recognizable one for anyone who resonates with this.
Yeah.
Step 1, you share your carefully considered, probably complex insight.
Step 2, polite nods, maybe, but no real engagement because it doesn't fit the easy narrative.
Step 3, you try to explain more, maybe over-explain, which just makes people feel defensive or like you're being difficult or abstract.
And then step 4, this is the killer.
You watch someone else, maybe weeks or months later, say basically the same thing, but simplified, timed better, stated with more confidence, and they get the applause.
Ugh. And the realization isn't that you were wrong.
No. It's that the insight was invisible or inconvenient to the system because the system prioritizes speed and simplicity over depth and accuracy. Your complexity got filtered out.
So if this is hitting home for you, if you feel that burden of noticing what others miss, what's the advice? How do you steward that insight strategically?
Okay, practical steps. First, stop wasting energy pushing insights into places they clearly aren't welcome. Redirect that high-capacity awareness.
Towards what?
Towards receptive spaces. Your own projects, maybe specific teams at work, trusted colleagues, places where depth is actually valued or where you have the autonomy to act on it.
And protect your own thinking.
Absolutely. Document your insight privately, write them down. It sharpens your own understanding, and crucially, it builds internal validation. You know you saw it, even if no one else acknowledged it at the time.
Choose your battles.
Choose your battles strategically. Not every meeting, not every conversation needs your deepest, most complex take. Conserve your energy, but, and this is a key, act anyway.
Act anyway, even if no one's listening.
Yes. Let your actions be guided by your insight, by your integrity. Root your sense of value in your own observations and truth, not in whether you get external applause for it. Your contribution is real, even when it's unseen by the consensus.
That's powerful advice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have. From the sheer acceleration of AI creativity with Adobe and Canva,
to its flip side, the political slop and the questions around intent versus impact.
then the sobering reality of our brittle cloud infrastructure, those Azure and AWS outages.
And the human layer, how platforms like OnlyFans are diversifying, and how relationship visibility is undergoing this really subtle but profound shift away from old norms.
Finishing with that call to action for those who see the deeper patterns.
Right. So time for the final provocative thought. What should folks chew on this week?
Okay, here it is. If we accept that many systems, digital, social, corporate, often prioritize speed and simplicity over depth and nuance,
Which seems to be the case.
then ask yourself, what's one specific, maybe quiet action you could take this week, rooted in an insight you have that maybe isn't widely recognized or validated yet? An action that could improve a situation, fix a small flaw, or plant a seed that everyone else is overlooking because they're moving too fast.
So not just seeing the nuance, but acting on it, even quietly.
Exactly. How can you steward your own awareness, not just to notice, but to act based on your unique view, rather than just reacting to whatever the consensus is saying this week?
That is a challenging thought. The great place to leave it. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Always a pleasure.
And thank you for listening. Until next time, stay curious.